Good morning. Or I should start saying good morning, good night. I hope we're fine. It's another day, and today I want to talk about mentorship. Mentorship in the workplace. But before I go deep into it, I want to dedicate this video to all my UPSA family, the students that come around for us to take photos and all of that. This video is for you. I will speak about my own experiences. I will tell you the reality on the ground and then how to choose the right mentor for your journey. So I'll probably do this video in about 2-3 parts because there are a lot to talk about, especially in the Ghanaian workspace. So what is mentorship? Mentorship is a relationship you build with someone, usually an experienced person in the field, to help guide you on certain life choices, especially. So in this setting, we're going to talk about workplace. We're going to limit it to the workplace. So when you have an older person, I don't like to use the word older, I like to use more experienced person in the work field you find yourself. Someone who is more experienced in that field, who can help you, guide you, help shape your career in that field. And it comes with a lot of advantages. But anything that has advantages definitely has its disadvantages. So let me tell you my story. When I started, before I ever started any job, it would be my last class in the university. And I always would thank Dr. Owusu for such a brilliant opportunity, because I learned so much from that one class, one session. My whole life in university, at Okine University, that was the only class I truly enjoyed because it was so insightful. So when I went to that class, I think it was oh, please make me go. In Jesus' name. It was a class that was organized by an association that was supposed to teach us or help us to navigate life after school. And so we had a couple of people come around to speak about their experiences after school, or what to expect after school. I remember when the first speaker came, they were all students, they were all alumni. How do they call them? Yeah, all students, alumni. I don't know, I can never get that word right. Maybe it's an alumni. Oh. So when the first speaker came, he spoke about how his mother actually sat him down and told him, "My son, I think that I have done well. I have taken care of you in school, but this is how far I can bring you." Today I'm talking about this in a more solemn voice because I came to understand later what that meant. But as at that time, we were all laughing. In fact, he said it in a very funny way, so it was just laughter here and there. Then the second speaker came. He also shared his experiences. Then the final one came, and that was the one that really resonated with me. And she spoke about getting certain things, certain basic things, like your birth certificate, right? Your passport. Get a passport. Get a driver's license. I should be home for a while waiting to be posted. Enroll in a driving school. because you never know when or where you would get some opportunity to shine. So whenever she mentioned it, I would check it in my head. Okay, I have this, I would check it, till I realized that, oh, then I am on course. The one thing they never talked about, which I came to realize later that it was very important, was mentorship. They came to say what they said and they left. But the rest was entirely up to you. When I completed school, at the time I was selling, and I wasn't selling in school because I didn't have money or my parents couldn't support me. I was selling to fund my lifestyle because I felt I was buying a lot of things. Thankfully, I had a partner, or I had a boyfriend at the time who was very, very much supportive. So I didn't lack, but I was spending so much money on unnecessary things, which I later came to find out that it was very useless. Let me chip this one in. You know the clothes that you can buy on campus. The dressing on campus is different from is different from how you dress when you get out of campus. So in your final year, what you should be looking at is to get more corporate clothes, because when you get out of school, maybe you want to do some internship before you even start the actual work. Then you realize that the things that you were wearing on campus were all you can't take them to the company, especially where you work with a company that has a uniform or they have the colors they dress in. You realize that now you're not fitting in there. Your dressing is not dressing. How do you say that? It's not giving. So you need to check that. So when you get to your final year, start shopping for corporate clothes. Good. So fast forward, I started my service with my current company. I don't like to mention their name because I've not been mandated or nobody has authorized me to be doing this. And when you're dealing with companies, you need to be careful, because if you share an opinion and they don't agree, if you share an opinion and they don't agree, it can bring me problems later. I have to do a whole video to retract and all of that. And everything that I share here is basically my opinion. They're all mine. I've not been authorized to do this. It's just my life experiences. Of course, it has them in it, but it's basically my life experiences. So I started this school. I started work with the company, and the manager I got, fortunately for me, my branch manager, was one of the best people I ever came across. Mr. Solomon Amubek. I know you hear your name in this video. I don't even know. You hear your name in this video. And you were one of the best. Thank you. I should come forward. This guy's always trying to appear in my video. That's okay. Thank you. He was one of the best mentors for me. And we never even discussed mentorship at the time, but that was my first experience at mentorship that didn't have any strings attached. I want to believe that he saw something in me and he helped me. But let me be quick to add that it's not every boss that is supposed to be your mentor. It is not every boss that is supposed to be your mentor. And I'm going to now go into the reality on the ground. It is ugly. It is very, very ugly in the corporate world. The sexual harassment is real. The gossiping is real. The backbiting is real. All the negative things that you can think of is real. And it's also highly competitive in the field. Very, very competitive. So if you... I'm coming. No. That's it. I'm coming. Don't come. I'm coming. It is highly competitive. So if you think that you're going to have it rosy like that, no. That's not how it is. I would speak more about it when I come in later, but it is real. I've had my fair share of all of these experiences. After I finished with my service, I finished with my service with my company, my current company. I went to work with another company. And it was crazy over there. I mean, that was the first time I experienced I experienced government work. You know, there's the private company workers, and then there's the government workers. That was the first time I experienced that. I went into a room it was just full of people working. And you know how they call them, they ring a bell to call them to assemble, just like in school. And I realized that, I was too posh for that kind of work. That's not to downgrade them, but I just realized that I was far ahead of them. And so I was not fitting in there. I would go to work and I would even dress more than my boss. And so you can imagine, it was just creating a whole lot of problems. There was that unhealthy competition in there, not for the right things, not for maybe going to school, upgrading yourself in whatever area. No, that was not the goal. It was just about dressing, gossiping, backbiting. You just couldn't trust anybody in there. You just couldn't trust anybody. And they delighted in watching people fall. So I just even took it out of my CV. You will never find that company's name in my CV. No. So it is real. And if you don't apply wisdom, you will never know how to work in any company. It's just that it's more pronounced in certain companies than it is in others. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Sexual harassment may not be as pronounced in a government workplace, in a specific government workplace, than it is in a private company. For me, I think that sexual harassment is even more in private companies than in... I don't have the statistics anyway, but I'm just imagining from the stories I've heard from friends, my experiences and all of that, that sexual harassment is even more on the private side than on the government side. And it comes both ways, especially... So I think that now guys are also experiencing that a lot more with especially rich females or rich bosses. You know, those boss chicks. They're beginning to harass the boys too. So don't think that it's just ladies. No, it's everywhere, and everyone else is experiencing it. So I will continue this after work. Okay? I'll see ya.